So Chelsea's continued crisis continues. Get your words out, Goldbridge. Fulham 2, Chelsea 1. And look, I've constantly said that Chelsea need to back Graham Potter, and I would say this with utter conviction. It's one thing to buy a football club; it's another thing to lead a football club. There are many dubious, concerning actions from Chelsea that are odd. Their transfer activity is haphazard. It's all over the place. Is that coming from the manager? Is that coming from the owners? Is it coming from a director of football? I don't know. But I feel that the first thing I noticed about Chelsea tonight, which would make me lean towards Potter, another manager of Chelsea, getting the sack. I think that it's illogical to sack Potter. And I would say, as I said on the watch along, I guarantee you, if you stick with Potter until next season, things will improve. And 100% they will. But will he get that far? He should do. As an outsider looking in with, complete and utter neutrality and common sense, I can't believe that game tonight, by the way, at Craven Cottage. It's a long time since I've watched a game of football where a team has had so many errors self-inflicted. A catalogue of errors. Argos FC. And they got Dracula in goal, who is terrified of crosses and has cost you 6 points in the last 2 games. At Man City, even Jack Grealish said, I thought the keeper was going to get the cross. He didn't. Mahrez scored on the back post. You lose 3 points. This week, you're down to 10 men. You're defending quite well. Cross comes in. Doesn't come for the cross again. I'm sorry. Kepa has cost you 6 points in the last 2 games. And Mendy's injured. So what's he supposed... what is the manager supposed to do there? Kepa's a £70 million goalkeeper. Mendy's injured. You've got to you've got to pick him. He's costing you games. Havertz up front is pretty much the only forward you've got fit, unless you're going to play a youngster from Norway who might not even be ready. He's a bloody disgrace. The similarity between Havertz and Kepa is unbelievable. Kepa in the last 2 games has cost you two goals and two losses by not coming for crosses. And then this is the second, in both Man City game and this game, I've seen Havertz twice in both games. João Felix has made a run. Aubameyang's made a run. It's a simple pass and they're through one-on-one and he's ignored it twice. And then he's missing one-on-ones himself. So, as a manager, you're like, I've got to use these players because everyone else is bloody injured and they're shit. And then Zachariah's playing really well. He gets injured. João Felix is the best player on the pitch and just over-eager, goes for a tackle and quite rightly gets sent off. The first goal, Chalobah makes 3 mistakes in the lead up to the goal. And you're like, as a manager, I can train him, I can do everything, but, we are just in a bad place at the moment. We are attracting luck like shit attracts flies. And I'm telling you, if Chelsea have got the balls to stick with Potter, which they should do, things will get better. But the big concern for Chelsea is that I detected it tonight. And I'm not going to name names because it's not fair and it's not my club. But there are players in a Chelsea shirt who you can tell are starting to go, we've got a get out here. Yeah, we're not playing well, but we've all seen this at various clubs. We've seen it at Chelsea with Villas-Boas. Players who are not playing well start to find a reason for why they're not playing well. They start to blame shift. Yeah, I might be shit, but the manager's fault. And that is that'll be the end of Potter. If the players are giving up, and it definitely looks like some of them are, then he's going to get the sack. Because if you lose to Fulham and you lose to Crystal Palace and you lose to Liverpool, it doesn't matter how much time he should be given, and it doesn't matter how much patience should be given, results and players will always get you the sack. So I'd be like that about Potter. I'd be like that. I think that there's a lot of bad luck and there's a lot of bad circumstances, but those players are your problem. As I said, Kepa and Havertz are a disgrace, absolute disgrace. As footballers, they are not good enough and they shouldn't be playing and they're costing you points. But there's others who aren't playing well. They're just not playing as bad as those two. I thought Chalobah was crap tonight. I think Aspilicueta looks past it. I feel sorry for the left back, Hall. I think he looks quite good, but he's very, very young. Koulibaly should be doing better for what sort of player he is. I know he scored, but he's not commanding. Kovacic is not the player I think he is. Mount's not the player he should be either. So you can see, and Fulham, let me just spend a minute on Fulham. Fulham are 6th in the league, newly promoted side. They're not a bad team, but I tell you what, that 3 points for Fulham tonight, they'll be sat in the dressing room going, how have we won that game then? I mean, it wasn't like we played well. We haven't even got Mitrovic tonight. We haven't played well. Chelsea have just conspired to give us 3 points without us having to work that hard for it. So, yeah, it's crazy. But look, it doesn't look good. And I can say what I think, and I think that what I've said before, if you stick with Potter, things will get better. He hasn't had a pre-season, and he's a very tactical coach, and that has a big impact. He hasn't had a transfer window yet, a proper one, and that has a big impact. He's had to inherit £240 million of spending that he wouldn't have bought. And on top of that, I would like, if you're not a Chelsea fan, I'm a United fan, you've got Reece James out, you've got Chilwell out, you've got Kante out, you've got Sterling out, you've got Pulisic out, you've got Broha out, I think you've got a couple of others out. That would be like Man United not having Luke Shaw, Dalot, Casemiro, Anthony, and probably Bruno as well. So that's going to have a big impact. So the injury list is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So it's just who's got the balls at Chelsea to stand up, and it's got to be somebody above Potter. It's got to be somebody in authority. Who's got the balls to publicly and, more importantly, go into the dressing room and say this is our manager. We appointed this manager. We know the club's going through transition. We know it's not easy at the moment, but this is the right choice, and we're going to stick with him. And he will be the manager till the end of the season and at the start of next season. And that is the plan. And once the players know that and the fans know that, I guarantee you the results will start to improve. At the moment, there's too many gaps. There's too much uncertainty. And that will grow the movement to have him out. So, but that's what I would do. That's not football. That's not football. Football is a blame-shifting game. And if the players decide they're going to blame shift to Potter, and then the owners start thinking we'll blame shift to Potter, he becomes the fall guy and he's screwed. And we've seen that happen countless times. So I don't know where this is going to go. I really don't. I think it's wrong to bring a manager in September or October when the transfer window's shut, when he's not had a pre-season. And then you witness all these injuries. I think it's wrong to then throw him under the bus and sack him in February. But it wouldn't be the first time we've seen that happen. So, it's a very interesting time for Chelsea, isn't it? And, the João Felix thing's ridiculous. He's your best player. You actually look like a good team. He gets sent off, and he won't play for your next 3 games as well. So, I mean, it's just as I say, a catalogue of errors. It's a mess. And I think that Palace game on Sunday becomes pivotal, because I think if you lose that, he probably is in big trouble, because then you're going to Anfield. So it's a shame. I really wanted Potter to do well. And I think if he does get the sack, it will go down as, so many factors that were out of his control. But, football's not fair. Life's not fair at times, is it? So we'll see. But I hope they're strong enough to give it time, and I hope more than anything the players are moral enough and have a big enough backbone to back the manager and stick with him. But who knows? Chelsea are in crisis. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and I'll speak to you on the next one.